Hello, people of YouTube. Welcome to my Xeno series character tier list. We're going to go through every single main-ish and side character in all the Xeno games, and we're going to rank them each on this list. So there'll be no side quest characters. Not going to be any, unfortunately, no Kenny Rohan on this list. So, we're gonna do the Xenoblade 1 characters first, then X, then 2, and then we will go into Gears and then Saga. That is how I'm gonna do this. Alright, let's get to it. I want to thank everyone because it's been 1 year since the channel launched. I didn't upload a video for a little bit, but I had made it known that I wanted to do YouTube. This day, 1 year ago, May 18th. It's not May 18th when you're watching it on YouTube, but it's May 18th on the stream. It was a big moment. It was a big moment to do it. It was like the last push I needed to actually commit to doing it, because I had been throwing around the idea for a while. I think finally, after creating the channel and having like the email and everything set up and making like the branding for the channel and shit, I was just like, we're doing it now. It's happening. Okay, so up first we have Alvis, and there he is. That's where that's where my boy Alvis is going, because he's my favorite character in the series. To those who do not know, I just love him. He's so mysterious. I love his design. He's top tier. So if that's what you wanted to see, there you go. So I'm assuming that this is Arglus. Arglus, he's like okay. He's like alright, he's okay. It's like Arglus himself is in one cutscene, so he's not terribly impressive. I'm super mixed on Dixon. Yu-Gi-Oh! Tier list when? What would you rank every card? Like, you're gonna rank all 10,000 cards in a tier list? No thanks. So I don't know how I feel about Dixon, because I think early game Dixon is super cool, and I even think that mid to late game he's super cool. My biggest issue with him is how like forced the betrayal felt. Just he like says out loud that he's gonna betray us. That there's no reason for that at all, and I think that sort of ruins the entire the whole surprise of it. I mean, obviously you're surprised when he shoots Shulk. You knew it was coming. You knew at some point in the game he was gonna do some shit that was like, are you joking me, man? Really? I know a lot of people have talked badly about how he acts in like the final couple cutscenes he's in, but it honestly doesn't bother me that much. He goes through a transformation. I'm willing to accept that he acts a little bit different and sounds different. So I think overall I'm gonna give him a B. Maybe a little overly generous. My Xenoblade 1 bias might be showing. Dunban, he's gonna go right to S. You know, not much to say. What is there to say about Dunban? He's great. Awesome character, super cool, fun to play. Chief Dunga. I mean, so like for meme pick, right? He is a top tier meme pick, but as a character, like he doesn't do much of anything. So really, what is Chief Dunga doing other than being funny? He succeeds at that. He succeeds at being funny. He fills his role fine. So I'm willing to rate him like a decent level at least. And that looks a little weird. There, that looks better. He said not higher than Arglus. All right, Egil, A tier villain. Not quite S tier. So as much as I really like the way that his arc plays out, the fact that he does Taku no Jitsu with Shulk, and then he's like, I will not genocide everyone. And it's a little bit more complicated than Taku no Jitsu, but they talk about it. Obviously he resists Zanza and everything, but he simply talks about it with him afterwards, and he's like, you know what? Thousands and thousands of years of hate and massacre that I have done, well, I'll just stop doing it. I felt like he had a much stronger conviction than that. other than that one thing, I think Eggle is a fantastic character, easily the most compelling and interesting villain in Xenoblade 1. Fiora is a complicated one as well, because when I initially played the game, I thought Fiora was a fantastic character, but as the years went along, I started to notice that after she returns to the party, she just kind of like doesn't do anything other than talk about Shulk. She's cool, and her dynamic with Shulk is cool, and I like the way that they're written, but I really wish that there were just more instances of her not talking about Shulk. I'm not as harsh on her as other people. I think that is my Xenoblade 1 bias. I'm going to put Fiora in the controversial A. I know. She'll probably be bottom of A as we go along. She will most definitely be bottom of A. Her heart-to-heart stuff is neat. Okay, so like, her heart-to-heart stuff is cool, but almost all of her heart-to-hearts, she talks about Shulk. In almost all of them, she brings up Shulk. There's some pathings where I'm sure she doesn't, but she almost always brings up Shulk. Gato, super underwhelming character for me. He doesn't really do anything. He's just driving force for Charla, and then he shows up 65 hours into the game. I'm gonna put Gato down here. Yeah. Gelgar can go to the dumpster fire. Gelgar is garbage tier character. Dude gets introduced in a cutscene, made out to be like the villain, like a secondary antagonist, or even possibly the main antagonist of Future Connected. Burns down a building and then jumps off a cliff. And that's all he does. And it is so pathetic. I know it's a meme to hate on Juju, and he does kind of suck, but I don't think I'll put him that low. Juju's like, he's like a D. You know what? Nah. We'll give him C. It's a little weird putting him above like Arglist, but he gets more screen time and he actually like does things, even if they're very minor things. Callian, my boy Callian. When I first played Xenoblade 1, I really didn't pay Callian much mind. It was really kind of like, whoa, this character is whatever. You know, he's just like Melia's brother. But honestly, he has a really subtle and interesting arc throughout the game, and every playthrough I come to appreciate Callian more. Wouldn't say I'm a Callian stan, but he is definitely high tier character. He really does want what's best for like all the races of Bionis, and he really becomes this like extremely competent military and social leader, and I like that a lot. Kino, I don't know, man. He's cute. He's really cute, but he's super annoying. I will put him in... I would normally put him lower, but I will put him in D out of pity because he's an orphan and he has a sad orphan story. You know, nah, bottom of C. Bottom of C. I'm not slandering Kino, I promise. I promise I am not slandering him. I'm just, you know, not a huge fan. He's at least as good as Juju. But like, Juju has an arc. Juju has a story. As pathetic and like small as Juju's story arc is, he at least has one. Kino like doesn't. His whole thing the entire game is being hero pawn and training. That's it. It's my girl Lenata. Get the hell up here. In high B, just because she's cute. There's my contradiction. I'm putting her high B because she's cute, but I'm not putting Kino much higher because he's cute. But also, Lenata's just really nice. She's a nice character. I have no problems with her. She does what she needs to do. Lorthia, get the hell out of here. She's not an F just because she's hot, and she has a funny boss fight. That's the only reason she's not an F. What's this dude's name? Maxis. He's like, dude, I do not like him. I do not like him at all. He's a D tier character. He at least plays his role of like racist dude well, but I just don't like him. Melia, she's going all the way up there. There she goes. She's also one of my favorite characters in the series. She's just like She's just a very well-written character, probably one of the best written characters in Xenoblade 1. Post Alchemoth, her importance sort of wanes a little bit, right? So like Xenoblade 1 is structured in a strange way because Xenoblade 1 is so heavily Colony 9 character favored. So like the beginning of the game is heavily about Colony 9. And then you get to Colony 6 and you do that, and then Charlotte's plot is over. That's it. Until Gato comes back for 5 minutes later in the game. And then you go to Magna Forest, and Ricky and Melia are the thing, and Melia continues to be a thing, and she has a pretty big arc, the biggest of the non-Colony 9 characters. And then after Alchemoth, that's kind of it. And then we get back to focusing on Colony 9 characters because Fiora's back, and they're just the central thing moving forward. But I think when she is on screen and when she is given the chance to shine, she just does a very, very good job. Maineth, where do you even like rate a character like Maineth? I'm willing to just, I'm ganging her up with Fiora. Mikkel, we'll put him in B. Mumkar is awesome. He is also a really great antagonist. He is second best antagonist in the game. I think I'm willing to do that. I think that's a good spot for him. I like that he's evil just for evil's sake. I think that I watched a video recently. I forgot what it was. It was a video about some TV show, but the guy in the video pointed out that recently there's been this push to make like every villain sympathetic, and it's getting kind of old. And I sort of agree. I like when villains are sympathetic, but I feel like writers nowadays have this thing where they're trying to make every villain have like this backstory where you're supposed to like sort of understand their perspective. And I just kind of like villains that are bad just because they're bad. Really fun bad guy, not that interesting of a character. Yeah, hard agree. Nene, definitely better than Kino. I think like universally agreed to be a better character than Kino, but like by how much? That's a good spot for Nene. Aka, dude, she is on screen for 5 seconds. She's willing to divorce Ricky though. Why would you do that? You know what? Here's what I'll do. We'll put the characters that I'm unsure about right here. Atharon, my boy Gandhi, he's okay. Yeah, I think that's good. Radzim, I believe that's his name. Or it's like Radzim Cubed or something, or Radzim 3. He's going right here just because he's a nice man. Rhine is A tier. I just don't know where. In A tier. He's better than Fiora, better than Mumkar, but is he better than Callian? That is the question. I'm only putting him higher than Callian because we get more Ryan than Callian. I get to see more of him. He sort of starts out expecting to be the hero, and then he has to sort of come to terms with the fact that like that's just not his job. And I like that. I think that's a really interesting subversion of the best friend trope. Ricky is fine. He's okay. He will go here. He's in debt, which makes him relatable. Big oof. All right. Might be controversial, and some people might know this about me already. I do not like Charlotte. I think this is a waste of potential. This character is an absolute waste of potential and waste of a character slot in Xenoblade 1. She does, to me, and this is not an attack on any of you Charlotte lovers out there, she does not do anything mildly interesting in this game. And I'm sorry. I feel like her character arc could have been given to literally anybody, and it kind of already is. It's literally just Shulk's, but worse. She thought somebody died in her colony, and she's like, we're gonna get revenge. And then, oh, it turns out, well, I mean, she didn't think he died. She was like, he's out there somewhere. But then later in the story, it's, whoa, he's not dead. She just doesn't do anything. And I know like Ricky doesn't do anything. At least Ricky's funny, and at least I like playing as Ricky. So Charla, is going right here in D tier. She says that she'll support Melia and then just kinda doesn't. That was fun. Oh my god. She does do that. Lower than Gatto. Gatto at least sort of does something. Yeah, he does. He does. He has a purpose and he serves it. And Charlotte has a purpose and she serves it, but it's not an interesting one. We're putting Shulk in S. No arguments from any of you. Shulk is going in S. The Xenoblade 1 revisionists that want to come along and say that Shulk was not an interesting protagonist, but he's a really good one, and I will fight you to the death on that. He's great. Why else is my channel icon Shulk? He's iconic and he's great. There he is, right? You're looking on YouTube or Twitch. You see him. That's me. Saurian Antiqua is a character. He's like super weird. Shulk proves to be a good man to him, right? And he trusts him enough to ask him to be friends with his daughter, but he is not good enough to him to be able to enter Prison Island. And I imagine that's because he saw that vision and he's like, oh, we can't let them go to Prison Island. I feel as if with the knowledge of that vision, he should have gone with Shulk. Be like, okay, I am going to be attacked and killed. I need you to defend me. We're supposed to go up to Prison Island, but I don't want to die. So it felt super contrived. He like necessitated his own death. Everyone related to Melia is super hot for some reason. I've never met a Saurian simp. Excuse me? He's not a bad character, but I hesitate to say that he's a good character. He's like okay. He's going in the C tier, the okay tier. Thielen is super cool, not only because he is a high Entia young boy character. We really don't have those, but also because he was a quest character promoted to a main character in Future Connected. I don't know how many of you were around for Definitive Edition hype, but when we saw Thielen in that trailer, we saw this young Hyentia boy in that trailer, we were like, oh my god, this is Thielen. That's crazy. That is insane. Someone said it in chat, Thielen's a good boy. Yeah, they were. We'll put him right there. Oh, used your sub to say Blant Bradley. Thank you. Tyrea. So this is where she would be if Future Connected did not exist. No, actually. This is where she would be. But because Future Connected exists and because she becomes a pretty good character, she is going up here. Actually, I'm willing to even do this. Oh no, I'm not actually willing to do that. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks good. Her being lower than Fiora is actually going to make some people mad. Vanea, there she goes. Right there with Lanata. They're like the same level. Nah. There, I think that's better actually. Colonel Vangar. You do your job. You are funny, angry man. Yo, I gotta use my mouse upside down for 5 minutes. Oh, so for those on YouTube that don't know, I have a thing on Twitch. I have a points redemption where you pay a certain amount of points and I have to hold my controller upside down. But since I don't have a controller, I'm just doing my mouse. Yumea is like really not. She's going right here. Mommy, ew. The fuck? No, she is not mommy. Okay, so final Xenoblade 1 character is Zanza. I think he's a nice villain. Alright, and this is how it is looking for the Xenoblade 1 characters. With that, we can move on to the Xenoblade X characters. And oh boy, is this going to be a slaughter. Alexa, so she is voiced by Makoto's VA. I forget her name. It's like Cherami. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Someone tell me in chat. But I knew her as Alexa before Makoto, and I loved her energy, and I used her a lot in my first playthrough. And I will put her in B just because she's neat. Boza, however you say his name, is the only reason I'm not putting him in F, even though he's a super racist, degenerate weeb, is I feel like by the end of his quest, he is slightly less racist. And that is progress. Celica, I never recruited her, but when I met her, she seemed neat. And that's where she's going, because she's neat. Cross is like, get the hell out of here, man. One of the worst things to happen to X was having Cross exist. But realistically, I think just the fact that Cross exists bothers me quite a bit, because Elma is clearly the main character of this game. There's no argument whatsoever. She makes the decisions. Even if you say no, it doesn't really matter when you are given the prompts. It's called Team Elma. You're on Team Elma, not Team Cross, not Team whatever you want to call your avatar. Xenoblade 2 does not have Cross as a summonable blade. I am turning my mouse around. It's easily been 5 minutes. Who is this dude? He's paired with this girl. I forget. They're like interesting enough. They're just like chaotic. And that's kind of good enough for me. There they go. Doug's great. He's, you know, solid dude. Putting him right there. I do not know who this is. I'm putting her there because I don't know who that is. I literally could not tell you. Elma is a cool character. There. I think that's a good spot for her. I like playing as her. And she looks cool. And she is cool. She is the girl that gives you quests. Oh, she is. That's right. She stands in front of the board. I don't know. She's like there. She's okay. Actually, no. How do you even rank a character like this? She's staying in Fry is funny, so he will go somewhere here. These two are like, they're definitely better than Reese and the other chick. I'm gonna say this, and everyone is gonna be like, oh my god, you're right. Kamaravi is just gonna be him. I am telling you, it is gonna be the same thing but better. Because unfortunately, the Rothians just did not get any time to do anything. Goeta, or Goisha, I think is her name. She's going here because she's hot, and that's it. Gwyn, he is also a nice guy. There, I think that's good enough. Okay, guys, I have a confession to make. I don't actually like HP. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't see the appeal. He's kind of an asshole. He's kind of a jerk. He's somewhere down here. There you go. Oh, I don't know this girl's name, and I never recruited her. It's one of the only characters I actually know nothing about. I don't know this character. We're putting her here for now. Arena is a pretty good character. She's definitely a cut above most of the other X characters, I would say. I think that's a good spot for her. Lao is also pretty decent. He has a nice arc, interesting motivation. Cool cliffhanger at the end. Yeah, I like that one more. Lynn, she's up here. She's somewhere in B. Yeah, she's good there. His name is L, but he only takes dubs. He's a funny man. You know, there's birds. There's so many birds outside. They have birds that live in my gutters. I live in an apartment complex. It's not my job to clean the gutters. I pay you people to clean my gutters. Get the birds out of there. What's this dude's name? Stupid McDumbface. Wow, I actually don't remember his name because I do not care. Luxar, that's right. I'm pretty sure there's 2 X's in his name. Could be wrong. Super middling to me. Murderous is like, okay, on my first playthrough, I thought that Murderous and Arena were the same person. Mommy? I mean Murderous? I mean Mommy? Ew. Why am I forgetting? He's like actually really cool. Nagi, Commander Nagi, that's his name. There we go. Fog is a nice boy. Fog is a very nice boy. I'll put him right there. He's trying his best to live his life. Tatsu can get the hell out of here. Yelv, he's also alright. Alright, that is it for the Xenoblade X characters. We'll move on to the Xenoblade 2 characters now. And right off the bat, Adam. Now where? It's like A or B. I like that. I like that placement a lot. Ajian is really boring. I'm sorry, everyone. I'll put him in C. He's just the daddy of the common blades. So I think Akos is super annoying at the beginning because he has a Brona with him. But I think as the game goes on, especially when we see his backstory in the World Tree, I am much more inclined to like him. That seems about right. Amalthus is really well written. On my first playthrough, I did not like this character. When you first meet him, you're like, he's a all right dude. Seems like a nice guy. And then Rex is like, I thought I saw Malos. And then you know he's the villain. But seeing how it builds to that, his slow build up to the reveal and his motivations and the backstory you see really just elevate him. He is definitely one of the best written characters in Xenoblade 2. I don't like him as a person. His character is fine. Yeah, sums it up pretty well. Gramps, I could not care less about Gramps. I'm sorry. Vanna is a low-key great character. I love having a main Nippon villain. Vanna in Xenoblade 1 was super funny, but we got this Vanna is part of the main story. He's like in it. I think I would put him up here. This is Mui Mui. Oh my god, Mui Mui is literally only getting ranked where he is because he has a funny voice. Bridget is great. Honestly, I did not expect to get the amount of interesting writing and content out of Bridget. Completely just baffled by how interesting she is. She's somewhere in A. She's up here. Crescidus, dude, who gives a crap? He's just a massive dude. He's just a big lad. There. Don't really care about him. Dromark can also go down here. I think I like Charla more. No, Dromark is actually kind of funny sometimes, but he's not fun to play. He's mostly annoying and he doesn't do anything. I don't know where to put her. She's going there for now. Jin. This dude is goated. He's going... Him and Laura are up in A, right? They're paired together. They're going to... I think... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and pair the drivers and blades together. Because they have like arcs that sort of coincide, I think. Here, you know, or actually, we're going to move Ryan down. Yeah, I think that's a lot better. And we'll do that. Malos. I don't know. I also don't think I liked Malos very much on my first playthrough, but as I came more to terms with the story, I think I appreciated Malos more. I guess I was kind of hoping for Jin to be the final enemy. I felt like the game was sort of building up to that, but then it didn't. If the drivers and blades go together, where's Hugo gonna be? Oh, dude, I don't know. Poor Hugo. Hugo's going wherever Niall was going, because they're the same character, and you can't fight me on this. Here's a test. I want you to look at both of these. You have 2 seconds. Tell me which one is which. I bet most of you flustered. I bet most of you looked at Niall and Hugo, and you were like, comment down below if you could not immediately tell me which was which. Anyway, Malos, I think, is going somewhere in A. Fun villain. Mikhail, if Torna did not exist, Mikhail would be much lower, but because Torna exists, I'm willing to rate him a lot higher. I would put him up here. I think he's very interesting. Morag is super sick, and we're putting her right here with Brigid. I will put Mithra up with Adam. Or I'll put her above Adam. I think that Mithra's journey is one of the most compelling aspects of Xenoblade 2. She just has so much depth. And I this is a common trend with Xenoblade 2. I think I was very unsure of how I felt about a lot of the characters at first in the game, but I grew to really like most of them. And Mithra is a good example of that. I think as she warms up to Rex, I warm up to her as well. And Torna is sort of like, it just pushes it even further and makes her extremely sympathetic. And you can really see like where she started. She was first awakened by Adam, how she used to act. And then by the time her and Rex finally unlock Numa and unlock that final form, how much she's matured and grown. Great character arc. You know, now I'm looking at my A tier, and I'm like, I'm gonna go back on my driver blade thing. I'm going back on it because I like these characters a lot. We're moving them up for the cool factor, less the objective factor. Mithra should be SIMO. I am only putting Mithra in A because I just like Pyra more, and I am not a huge fan of like the tsundere thing she starts out doing. I know it's like in service of her character, but I'm still not a fan. Nia is another character that I came to appreciate quite a bit over time, and she is going somewhere up here probably. I like that. I'm comfortable with that. All right, Niall and Hugo. They're nice boys. I like Hugo more because I get to play as him, and that's about it. Yep, here we go. Abrona's super annoying, but she's also really fun to play as. So, I don't know how to feel. Don't know where to put her. I'll meet her in the middle. Pandoria, get right up there. Secret best girl of Xenoblade 2. I love Pandoria. She's great. She gets the least amount of screen time out of any of the characters in the party, I feel like. I wish she talked a lot because I like her. I love her design. I love her personality. And I like the little bit of backstory that we saw with her and Zeke. I just like how she is with Zeke. I like how she like mimics all his movements and stuff. It's just really cute. Patroka. I do not like this character. There we go. I don't like her. Mostly because the person that does her voice acting does a terrible job. She does an absolute garbage job voicing this character. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the voice actress that I said that. But that's how I feel. I think the voice that not the voice, the inflection and how she is directed to voice ruins this character. She is so obnoxious and feels so out of place. This dude also, I don't care. He's cooler than Cressidas. There we go. They don't care about Perito. Numa can go right up there. She is a great character. She embodies all the good things about Pyra and Mithra. Also, I'm putting Pyra up here. Poppy Alpha's going up there. She is one of my favorite characters in the series. Do I like her more than Morag? Poppy just has like such like a touching character arc. Rex and Pyra are what Tora and I want to be. Like, we want to be just like you. You're the role model. We're not a real driver in Blade, so we need you to teach us what it means to be a driver in Blade. Even later in the game, in Moritha, when she makes the promise with Mithra, and in the World Tree, when she won't fly Rex over, it's just like touching moment after touching moment with this character. And I do not look forward to seeing Monolith absolutely destroy this poor girl in Xenoblade 3. You know they're gonna do it. She's gonna come back and she's just gonna be like a mess. Cutie Pie is nice just because She's fun to play and she's attractive. And QT is like, whatever. Don't have a huge attachment. We'll put her there. Rex is also very good, and I will put him right there. But Rex, I think people give him so much flack, more than he deserves, because the whole game is about him maturing and growing up and understanding responsibility and living for other people, as well as yourself. Living alongside others, and it's really well written. And just because he has a dumb looking outfit, people don't give him the credit he deserves. Rock, I do not particularly care for. What's his name? Sever. I don't really care about Sever, but he looks really cool, so he's going here. Tora is really great. I would not say as high as Poppy Alpha, but I think I like him probably the same amount as Poppy Cutie Pie. Fair assessment to make. Gort, dude, what even? Like, what do you say about Gort? Dude is an absolute whack job, especially after he gets Blade Eatered. I don't like him very much. I don't even know if I like the way that he's written necessarily, but I like how his presence facilitates certain actions happening in the story. Certain things happen because of his existence and because of things that he's done. Like him being that monstrous, disgusting Blade Eater thing. Very scary and jarring, and I was not expecting it, but I like it a lot. So just, I think mostly because of his history with Laura and the Blade Eater thing, we're gonna put him somewhere in C tier. Okay, the Tornin King, I don't even know. I think that's just what he's called, right? The Tornin King. I don't even know how you rate a character like that. I also don't know how you rate a character like him. I guess, you know what? I'll put him with Saurian, because at least he's like, he does his job. This guy, I remember not. I forget what his name is. Yeah, there we go. Or Zetter, that's his name. Van Damme, Daddy himself, is going in B tier, on top of B tier. In the short time we knew you, Van Damme, you made quite an impact, and you're included in one of the best scenes in the game. Hayes doesn't like, she doesn't grow, she doesn't change, she is a plot device. And at least she's nice, you know, I like her, but I don't know if I would necessarily put her up, you know, in A tier. I don't know if she deserves to be up in A tier. B tier, I think we can roll with that. Milton is okay. He does his job. He does what he needs to. He dies. How do I feel about Minoth? He's super sick in Torna, and then in Xenoblade 2, he is very introspective and, you know, he becomes a playwright, which is pretty interesting. There we go. My man Zeke, get up here. Come on down. He's so funny. People, I think, give a lot of flack to Xenoblade 2 for having like a lot of comedic moments. But Zeke's comedic moments are genuinely funny every single time. Like I said earlier, I just love his dynamic with Pandora. It's so cute. It's so funny. This is wonderful. Galea and Klaus. So I'm willing to just drop Galea off right here. Perfectly content with doing that, but I think Klaus is a lot more interesting than Sansa. Put him right there. So originally, for those of you that played 2 before 1, or weren't playing 2 upon release, the big guess, the big theory for Xenoblade 2 was that Shulk was the architect. Everyone was pretty dang convinced. Get to the top of the world tree. There he was. It sort of happened, but not really. Not in the way that we thought. I was surprised when it turned out to be Klaus, because I thought we were done with that character. I thought it was done and over with. But they decided to go an extremely interesting route with him and make him a tragic, I don't even know if he's a villain. Is he a villain? He's just a tragic character. He thinks he's doing the right thing. He thinks that he is pushing mankind to the next level, and he accidentally completely screws everything up. All right, we're going to do a speed round for all these blades because I am not really interested in firing off my personal opinions on each one. So we're just going to sort them based on how I like their designs, how I like playing them, and sort of on their blade quest. The blade quest is kind of irrelevant. Adenine, she goes somewhere up here. I think her design is one of the best in the series. Agate has a pretty interesting design. I like it a lot. I like her personality too. Azami also has a super sick design. And she will go right there. Boreas, I barely play this thing. I don't like him very much. He can go down here. My boy Corvin, go up there. I love playing Corvin. Oh, you know what? You know what? Screw this. We're putting Adenine up here just because I like her that much. Just because I like playing her and her design is really great. It's my tier list. Rosette is also going up there. I like her personality. I like her design is super unique. I like putting her on Zeke and doing pulverizing dunk over and over. Dagos, I have gotten a lot of appreciation for over time. I used to be pretty indifferent to him. I think that was also because I opened him really late on my first couple playthroughs, and then on a recent playthrough I opened him fairly early, so I used him a lot more than I would. That's a good spot. Dahlia is okay. Does not deserve the hate that she gets. Massive mommy milkers aside, I don't even have a problem with the massive mommy milkers. I don't like the reputation that it gives Xenoblade though. I don't let people point to her and like 2 other characters and they're like, oh, the character design in Xenoblade 2 is bad, but they're wrong. Electra, no thank you. Not interested in lollies. Finch is, you know what? Finch, Milton, and Fog, they would be good friends. I could tell you that right now. Florin can go here with Dagos. Godfrey, I don't like. I pull this guy first on almost every single playthrough. I'm sick and tired of seeing him. He's not even a good blade, and his design is super basic, and he's a really generic personality. Not a fan. Also, don't like Gort. I don't care for his design, don't care for his personality, or especially his side quest. His side quest feels like it makes absolutely no sense and should not apply to this character at all. Harold, I like her design a lot. I like the Final Fantasy influence. She's also really fun to play. She's somewhere in C. There. Cassandra is only going up this high because her design is great. It's, you know, she's not particularly incredible. I don't know, I have a bit of an attachment to her. Cora is also pretty middling. I will put her above Dahlia. Newt, I don't like. Her design's just super weird. I don't know what they're going for. She also has an eye in the back of her head. People don't talk about that. That's not influencing my decision at all, but she has a big eye in the back of her head. I just want to point that out. Oh, what's her name? Nim? Yeah, she's cool. She's like at the same spot as those two. Percival also, I'm not a huge fan of the personality, but he looks awesome and he plays fairly cool, so he's going up there. Perun, so what's annoying about her is she has the like the good deed quest things, and it's just annoying to get all the good deeds done. And I feel like that's only me. That's like a personal complaint. I just never feel like going around and doing all the good deeds so her affinity chart fills out. But I do feel like going around and doing the other things for other characters. I don't know what it is. Poppy Buster is extremely underwhelming. I like Sheba a lot. She's going up somewhere in A tier. I think that's a good spot. Praxis and Theory, I think I'm going to put them together because their character journey is so integral to one another. I will put them in B. Where in B is the question. Right there is the answer to the question. Wait, what the heck? I'm looking at the end of this list now and there's just a bunch of like What's Zord doing down here? Hold on. There's also Kanan. I will do Zord. Fiora's also here, but that's because I'm not doing her. Zord serves his purpose. Zord does what he... that actually is pretty high. That is pretty high for Zord. I'll put him there. Ursula's new groove pisses me off, but she's at least a kind-hearted girl, a kind-hearted woman. Put her right there. Vale's design is super interesting. It just feels like, I don't know, I like the spin on the goth girl. Vess, if you would ask me about Vess on a first playthrough, I think I would rank her a lot higher than I do now. But because I've done her side quest so many times, because she's such an easy blade to acquire, and I've just had to use her so many times, it's really just not that interesting to me. Wolfric is only going this high because he's cool. Zenobia, I'm gonna put up here. I like that her affinity chart is like all unique monsters. I'm sure there are people that don't like that. I'm sure that pisses off some people. But her whole thing about like wanting to be really strong and wanting to like fight strong enemies, specifically strong enemies. And it that is reflected in her affinity chart, and that's good design. Lila, what do we do with you? She serves her purpose. We will put Lila up here, and then we will put Tarazo and Susu down here. Okay, so these clowns, dude, I don't know. I don't care about any of them. They don't do anything. They're not particularly... The only interesting one is Stanif. He's the only mildly interesting one out of these three, so I guess I'll rank Stanif. It's not even going to be that high. There. Okay, so that is Xenoblade 1, 2, and X. Now, we're doubling the size of the tier list. God! A lot of these characters are not really going to be dwelled on very much because they show up for a very, very, very short period of time. I guess we'll start with Faye. We'll do the main party first. Faye is definitely an S tier character. Where an S tier? Probably right there. He has easily the best character arc in the game. No question about it. I also really like Emeralda. Not that she does much of anything in this story. I just really like her design. Emeralda is a very tragic character because she falls victim to Disc 2 syndrome. Because Disc 2 exists, you don't get to really see much of her. She doesn't have a whole lot of story importance because by the time you finally get her in the party, Disc 1 is ending. Which means Disc 2, you're being railroaded 90% of the time. You're being railroaded into dungeons and through story beats. Maria's like a B tier character. She doesn't do anything particularly interesting. I think I lean more towards liking her than not liking her, so we'll put her in B. Rico, on the other hand, complete, utter travesty what they did with him. He doesn't do anything. He joins up as a party member in the prison area, and then that's it. He just... Sorry, Rico. Ellie is also really great, but not as good as Faye, IMO. Why are Ellie and Sophia separate, but Lacan isn't on this list? That doesn't make sense to me. Bart, I think I've been affected. Zest has single-handedly made me like Bart more than I should. He's like Zeke before Zeke. Dan can go fuck himself. Billy I like quite a bit. He has a really fleshed out story compared to the other four, or to the four party members they shoehorn into everything. Oh, it's the big muchacho himself. Big Joe is going right up here. I love Big Joe. He is so funny. Unironically has an extremely sad backstory. Saitan, dude's kind of an asshole. I like playing as him. His speed is cracked. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gears experts. I feel like I've been told on multiple occasions that Saitan's speed stat is like, yeah, his speed stat is way higher than it should be. So he's inadvertently like the quickest character in the game. There you go, Choo Choo. Actually, I feel like Saitan should be moved up a little bit. There we go. It is a really cool antagonist. A very, very threatening antagonist throughout the game. Graph. I think I'm gonna put him right next to Id because they're similarly cool and compelling villains. Jesse is gonna go... I think I like him the same amount that I like Big Joe. Alright, well, let's get the elements out of the way. I'm not particularly interested in the elements. Dude, this list is so big. Can I, like... Yeah, this is what we're gonna have to do now. This is getting to be, like, kind of unmanageable. And then these guys. It's as if they're one character. That's what it feels like. I don't even know their names, and you can't talk about one without talking about the other. And then I'm just gonna rank them internally based on their design. There we go. Relian. I'm ranking him up there with the greats. I feel like more than most villains in the series, even more than Amalthus and Agil, I feel like we get to see his descent. Relian, it's like a slow, gradual change throughout all the flashbacks we see in the game. Miang is something. Where's Ramses, first of all? Ramses and Miang, I feel like, would go in a similar spot. That's a good spot for them. They really just took every character with a portrait and dropped them in here. Margie is all right. I'll put Margie right there. The Rat Boy. Yeah, we're getting to the end of Xenogears characters that I'm actually willing to rank. Oh, him, he's funny, but he doesn't... Yeah, I'll put him there. Rank him with his cousin. So characters that I'm just not willing to rank, I'll put down here because they just not enough. Sigurd is like a C tier. And we'll put Maison with Sigurd. Wiseman. I'll put Wiseman here. Zephyr, I will rank with the other emperors, the other rulers. I'll put them all together. Cain, I mean, I'm not going to put him with the other emperors. I don't know. Is he a good character? We never see Cain doing anything, and he just kind of talks. He just talks and talks and talks about doing things. We are only alluded to the fact that he does things or that he has done things. I like what he represents, though. Man of the Sea. Where are you? That's Church Boy. That is way too high. Dad, Phase Dad. Where do we put him? Put up with Jesse, probably. Oh, we gotta do our friend. I forget his name, but he's the sound test character. He's Hans. That's his name, Hans. Hans the Dolphin is a top of C tier character. I almost said top tier, but he's really not a top tier. Saitan's wife, she's all right. Yeah, who gives a shit about this dog, dude? What even? Xenogears has finished. We're moving into Xenosaga now. Jesus Christ. What do I think of Jesus Christ? Where do you even rank him? Do I judge him based on what he does in the Bible, or do I judge him on like the things that I've seen in Xenosaga? Doesn't seem like a bad guy, you know. He's Jesus, I guess. I don't know. I'll put him right next to. I'll put him right underneath Juju. There we go. Kanan is a very good character, I think. I think I'm happy with that. Bunny is a great mascot. You go right there. We're just gonna do the crew of the Elsa. I'm gonna put them nearby each other. I'm deciding to rank him lower. I just remembered that I did not like him. KOS-MOS, get up there. KOS-MOS is awesome. What else do you need? Come on. There's Xion. I'll put Xion in A tier. She definitely deserves to be in A tier. Her character arc that she goes through, like throughout the 3 games, is pretty astounding. Like I was not expecting the plot to go the way it did, and Xion got a lot of trauma. Chaos is really an unfortunate case because I thought I liked him. In Xenosaga 1, Chaos is really cool. But then they just completely stopped utilizing the character, so he's gonna be going lower than what I would normally rate him. Ziggy, I sort of expected surrogate father after he met Momo. I think Pied Piper makes him a lot cooler, like a lot cooler than he would have been had Pied Piper not existed. Right there up with Xion. Alan is such a good character. Junior, I would also rate very highly. Oh, did I not? I didn't talk about Junior. Junior, I thought it was interesting how Xenosaga 2 mostly focused on Junior. I wasn't expecting that. I really thought it was going to be like Xion the whole time. But Junior is a very big part of Xenosaga 2, learning about his past and learning about his childhood with Albedo and Negredo. His character really shines in at the very end of Xenosaga 2, and then also towards the end of Saga 3. He also has a lot of super good moments. I'd probably put Jin right next to him. Mary and Shelly do what they need to do, and that's why they're going there. I'm gonna put Telos up here, and she's up there not just because of her appearance in Xenosaga, because her appearance in Xenosaga is kind of like a little underwhelming. She only shows up in 3, and it's not as much as you would think. I like playing Telos a lot in Xenoblade 2. Cecily and Kath, they are also characters that do their job, and you never even hear them talk, from what I remember. Doctus is just super cool, and that's the only reason she's going up here. She speaks in Latin because she's badass. Oh, I forgot Momo. Fake fan. Fake fan. I'll put Ziggy and Momo together. Margulis is a very good antagonist. Definitely Malos level. His presence throughout the series is one of the things that I think elevates him that high. He is a constant threat, and by the end of Xenosaga 3, he has completely just fallen apart. And I love it. I love the character degradation. Richard and Herman. I feel like C tier. C tier is like the do what they need to tier. I wouldn't even rate them that high. I actually did not watch the Xenosaga anime, so I don't know anything about this character. Sorry. Kevin is an absolute jerkwad. Like, I gotta give him credit. They nailed him. They nailed abusive boyfriend. Guinan, he's okay. I think yeah, him and Kanan probably like in the same spot. Professor N. Scott, they are higher in the do what they need to list. Voyager is only good because of Pied Piper. Citrine, I don't have much of an attachment to. She is a character, certainly. I don't feel good about putting her low, but I don't feel good about putting her high either. Maybe that is a good spot for her. Elsa Crew. You will also go in the do what you need to. Elmer. He's only this high because he says, ooh, do. So we gotta get some Miyuki appreciation up here. For Miyuki right there. Albedo Piazzolla. Yeah, Piazzolla, I think is how you say his name. He's going up. He's going up to A tier. He's a fan-freaking-tastic villain. Best villain in Xenosaga. Wilhelm is kind of underwhelming. Dimitri is also a super solid antagonist for Junior. But where do we put him? I really like how he comes out of nowhere. Yuriev is certainly in A tier. I think I'll put him there. Oh, Pellegrini. There. Verum is okay as well. Verum is extremely okay. Put him there, and then I'll put this girl here. I forget her actual name, but I think I'll put Feb up here. Melissa I actually liked a lot. I thought she was one of the highlights of Pied Piper. I'll put her at bottom of B tier. Nephilim is super annoying. And Shion even points out, like in episode 3, that she's annoying, I'm pretty sure. She says something like, oh, so you're just gonna show up and say some cryptic things and then leave. And that's like actually just what she does. Virgil, where do we put you? Put him right with Feb. I do not like Yuli. I do not like Yuli at all. I know people say that she gets better later on, but I'm not a fan. Also not a huge fan of Sellers. There we go. Dude, Space Pope actually sucks. Space Pope is super duper lame. And I'm glad I put him that low. He does not deserve much better. So Uzuki, he's another does what he needs to character, but I think he is definitely a little bit more than that. I'll put him with Sellers. Mary Magdalene. I put Jesus with Juju. We'll put Mary Magdalene with Jesus. Cherenkov. There, top of C. I think that's a fair placement for him. Abel, I don't really know. I'll put him with Nephilim. I mean, it does things, but he's not like a character. He's just like an object. As sad as that sounds. I love Bugs. I like Bugs more than I should. I think he's just funny. He's like really, I like Sarcastic Robot. Sarcastic Robot is such a funny character. Lactus also pretty solid. Lactus right there. Mikhail is pretty okay from what I remember. I remember Sharon being a pretty decent character. I liked her. I liked when she was doing things in Pied Piper. Put her with Feb. Oh my god, that's actually... No, she doesn't do anything. Get out of here. Dude, who is this? Yeah, I can't find out who this is. Alright, we're putting him here, because I don't know who that is. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. This is a pretty good list. I'm sure I could sit here for another hour and refine the list, but am I really gonna do that? Well everybody, this is my tier list. This is my Xeno series tier list. After almost 3 hours of work, here it is. This is the whole thing. Good God. Ugh. Yeah, thank you guys for coming by and celebrating the 1 year anniversary of the channel with me. I really appreciate it. It is just insane to have everyone's support. I promise I'm going to continue making content. For those of you on YouTube, if you have any agreements or disagreements with my list, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I would love to hear what you think about this list. You know, I think the tiers that the characters are in are definitely 100% correct for me. Ordering could probably use a little bit of work. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.